So I don't think I have ever been as excited as this doing an unboxing. This box has arrived from Victoria in a small town called Ballarat. And if you know your boots, you know where this is from. G'day, welcome back to Bootlosophy. My name is Tech, and I acknowledge the Whadjuk people whose traditional lands are on where I'm filming in Perth in Western Australia. Now, I am really excited because I've got this pair of Wootten boots coming in this box, which I'll do an unboxing for right now. And it's really exciting because these are actually handmade, traditional handmade boots, the way they used to make them, and actually customized to my feet with really detailed measurements. So by gum, I hope I've got my measurements right, but we'll see. Now, Wootten is it's a one-man band, or it's a two-person band, because it's Jess Wootten and his wife Chris. And if you want to know more about them, you can go and see my interview with Jess, which is a highly entertaining interview with personal insights about his history and how he stands. Now, this is an extremely talented couple, I can tell you this. Imagine yourself in the 1600s in Florence, when people like Leonardo da Vinci existed, and people who could do everything. And this couple can do everything. They renovated their house. I don't mean they hired a builder, I mean they renovated their house. They have an organic garden. Jess makes the boots and Chris helps by doing the clicking. And Chris is also a winemaker. Of course, why not? But we're going to have a look at these boots now, made especially for me. And as I said, go and watch the interview. I think you'll love it. So let's get into the unboxing. So here we go. As I said, Jess and Chris are a highly talented couple. Really nice people as well. But I have found a weakness. I have found something that they're not very good at. I mean, come on, fellas. What do your Christmas presents look like? No, I'm only joking. It's what's inside that counts. Oh, I should do this the way my American subscribers want me to do. Apparently you have to... I always hold my breath when I do that, thinking a couple of fingers will fall off. Anyway, let's get into this. So it's a very well-wrapped plastic bag. Certainly well-wrapped. All right, it's stamped with the Wootten brand. Now, I asked Chris and Jess to do some videos of them making this particular pair of boots for me. I'm not going to insert them here, but I'm going to do a full review, and I'll insert those shots as B-roll into that video, showing how they make the boots. But one of the shots is about them stamping this individually on the cardboard box. Looking at the box, it's a fairly standard recyclable cardboard box. It's labeled there with your Wootens. It's a size 7.5, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. The style is called the Smith Work boot. It's a Chelsea boot. It's the Milton Last. It's custom made width. Cognac Rough Out is the uppers, and the sole is Black Star. And I'll tell you all about this in a minute. But let's open them up. Lots of packing to protect the boots. A coaster. That's the other thing Wootten make, is they don't just make boots. They make all sorts of leather products, including bags. I mean, go have a look. They're all handmade. Value for money. They're not, they're not entry level. Be prepared to have your credit card, and it's definitely worth it. A leather care card. Every handcrafted leather care product is unique. To prolong your product life, we recommend regular application of a lanolin or wax-based leather conditioner. Okie dokie. A Wootten card with the address and details, which I will put in the description below. Wootten product provenance, isn't that good? Australian beef from cattle farmers, a tannery in Geelong, Victoria, the Wootten Workshop in Ballarat, Victoria. Handmade using traditional tools. Oh, sorry, coming down here. A 4-person team of craftsmen. Made to order and expertly cut to minimum waste. Handmade using traditional tools and techniques. Finished by hand, packaged with care. Direct to customer. Designed and crafted for a long life. And that's me. Shipping invoice, won't tell you about that. Covered in paper. Tissue. Here they are. So as you can see, it's a Chelsea boot. Very Australian, of course, immediately recognisable. I ordered these in October 2024, and I was told then that it would take until March 2025, but I actually received this, today is the middle of February in 25. So these are the Smith work boots. The size is 7.5 E, I think it is, which is sort of standard average width, but they have been customized, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. They give you very clear measuring instructions, and to the extent that they had to add to the standard last about 2 centimeters measurements 3D wise around the ball of the foot. The last also allows for a 3 millimeter removable inner sole, which you can, you know, if it's too snug, you can remove that. Put that in. The leather I chose is called Cognac Rough Out, and it is from a tannery in Geelong in Victoria, which is south west of Melbourne, whereas Ballarat is west of Melbourne. As you can see, it's really beautifully made. The sole is called the Star, S-T-A-R-R, black rubber sole. It's made in, I think it might be in New South Wales. If you go and watch the interview I had with Jess, you see him talking about this, where this once was a big factory and now they're down to like 5 people making this this product, which we're going to have to support. Right, let's look at it in detail. So this is the Cognac Rough Out leather. It's burnished in the toe, really nicely, burnished around the toe and the edges. This Rough Out is a really nice work boot leather, burnished in the heel. You can see the stitching, and this is really hand stitched. This is going through a machine, held by hand, guiding this through. The stitching holding this, the rubber elastic sides is, the goring, lost my train of thought for a minute, is very fine and delicate. It's a Wholecut boot, so it's one piece of leather, right? Just like R.M. Williams. And you see this line is a sort of lasting line where they sort of fold the leather to make sure it curls over correctly. The stitching in the back is also very fine. Look at that stitching, just brilliant. Cloth pull tabs, don't worry, they're not going to fall out. A lot of my American viewers think cloth pull tabs are going to pull out. Nah, sorry, they won't. Wooden label, made in Ballarat. Don't know if you can see that. Stacked leather heel with a rubber top lift, and that rubber sole goes all the way through, and that is the welt. You can see the construction method, Jess describes it in the interview as well. Now, let me tell you how these have been customized to my fit, but let me take the other boot out. Let's take a look. Again, I asked for contrast stitching. That's come out really well, I think. You can get matching stitching as well. So let me tell you about how these have been customized. Jess got me to take some very detailed measurements. I think they were length, and rather than width, he did the 3D around the ball of the foot. He did what's called a short heel, which is measured under the heel and across to the other side of the ankle. And there was another one, what was that now? I can't remember. Oh yes, across the actual instep itself as well. So there are 16 leather choices if you order the Smith work boot. They're available in sizes 6 to 13, including half sizes in between. There are 9 sole options and there are 3 edge finishes. So if my math is right, it's 16 times 9 times 3, and I think there are 2 last sizes times 2. So you work that out, how many possible combinations there are. The standard price is $980, but this was customized to me, so it's more expensive. I'm not going to tell you how much it is because each customization is different. So it's case by case. So I think you should go and ask them. And if you have a standard foot, perfect. Customization costs will depend on time and work to figure out, the different fit changes. Because when you see the full review, you see them attaching bits of leather to the widest part of my foot to actually build it up. They take measurements of both feet too, by the way. And then they build it up off the standard last. And they even possibly have to adjust the patterns because it might have to be bigger, being a whole cut and so on. So it's best to ask. So the way it was customized for me was as a standard 7.5 UK size Milton last, and then they padded extra bits onto the ball. And look, I'm going to try them on in a minute. Let's hope I got my measurements right, because the old saying that carpenters have about measuring twice and cutting once? Well, let me just say in my DIY, I have often measured once and got it wrong. Okay, so I'm going to try these on. Let's see how they fit. I'm going to really love wearing this. I'm going to the pub this afternoon with my wife Amanda, and I shall be wearing these. So let's get them on foot. So here we go, the moment of truth about the accuracy of my measurements. I'm wearing a pair of Blundstones, and it's one of the reasons I'm wearing them this morning is because they're easy pull-on, pull-off boots. But also, Jess, in his description, says these boots are sort of the beefed-up Blundstone work boot. So let's get these off and get these on. Moment of truth. Handmade in Australia, isn't that nice? Oh my God, it's a glove. Absolutely perfect fit, and I am relieved. My measurements are right. Well done, Jess. Oh, I like them. They are... Look, I'm telling you, there is no break-in required. It's also partly because of the way the sole is constructed. Go and see the interview, describes it perfectly. Standing up. So the 3mm foam insert is in there at the moment, and I think they need to be in there. They're potentially a little loose if they're not. I can't say that they're snug, but they fill. My feet fill the boot. Very comfortable to start with. The flexing is not a problem. Like often with new boots, when you flex, you don't. You kind of bounce. No bleeding or breaking in of the heels. No blisters in the heels in this one. Really quite nice. I'll just remove this chair. Yeah, look, I think it's a lovely feel. The boot is fully leather lined, so I can feel the comfort inside. The black rubber sole feels just excellent. Yes, it'll be a nice walk to the pub this afternoon for lunch, where I shall sit under a table and kick my legs out into the corridor so people can see them. I like them. They're wonderful. They're not snug, but they feel like a slightly less than firm handshake. This is the sort of boot I think the fit is a really nice work boot in that you can bend and kneel without feeling pinching in any part of your foot. And it's a nice wideish fit around the ball of the foot. The length from the heel to the ball of the foot is perfect. It bends where the boot wants to bend, and the length of the toe is perfect. Where's my toe? It's about there, so there is that much space. Again, that perfect thumb's width from the end of my toe to the end of the boot. Okay, these will get a good lot of wear. Right, fellas, we're gonna end up. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the unboxing and the try on as much as I did. I'm just looking at these boots and I'm loving them. These are going to be my next favorite boots from here on in. And sometime later this year, I think in May, I'll be going across to Melbourne. I'm definitely going to do I think it's about an hour's drive out to Ballarat. And who knows, I might order another one. Go and have a look at their website, which I've left a link to down below. I've also put a link to their Instagram account. This is the Smith Work Boot. Standard price without customization, 980 Australian dollars. And well worth the money, I think. Well worth the money. Fantastic. I am in love with these boots. Okay, so guys, you know the usual. If you enjoyed this video, please click on the like button down below. And if this is the first time you've watched this video, especially right to the end, don't forget to click on the subscribe button because there's lots more to do and to look at. And don't forget, in a few months, I'll do a full review of these and work you through the construction, as I usually do, the history of Wootten, and I'll build in the B-roll of the way they constructed these boots. Okay, guys, so take care out there, and I'll see you next week.